traditional, so-called mainstream journalism, to what has become known as citizen journalism. Is that a very significant shift now? Is the whole nature of journalism likely to change because of this trend?
It is changing, and the changes will be dramatic. But I'm not one to sell citizen journalism as being, at the moment, being a great answer yet. And because what I see in the alternative press is very little journalism going on. In fact, what I see is people taking the front page of the New York Times, using that as their issue of the day, and saying, I don't agree with it, or I do agree with it. And when our idea is that our material would spark tremendous amounts of citizen journalism, because all these people who write opinion pieces on blogs and so on, when given the complaint, why aren't you doing any real journalism? Why aren't you going and research or investigating something? They say, well, it takes a long time to build up sources, so we don't have anything new to talk about, so we have to just analyse what the mainstream press are doing. So, but we have produced hundreds of thousands or millions of pages of new source material that these people could analyse and could report, and it's extremely rare that they do. So the specific example that I like to use is we got hold of a classified US intelligence report into what happened in the war in Fallujah. So this was a left cause célèbre, that invasion of the town of Fallujah in Iraq in 2004. Of course, Iraq itself had already been invaded, but Fallujah was some kind of holdout to the new government that had been put in place by the United States, the Coalition Provisional Authority. And that the circumstances of that invasion was some US contractors who were going through this area had been killed. And anyway, so not wanting to go into the detail, but that was a very bloody invasion, and it ended up with a pullout and a re-invasion some 5 months later. So what were the circumstances? Everyone knew that all sorts of tragedy had occurred in that town. This report, in fact, revealed both how things progressed militarily, how things progressed politically, spoke specifically about Paul Bremer, who was the head of the Coalition Provisional Authority, the